Congratulations, just gotten that new promotion. And nobody knows like I know how good that feels and how proud you are right now. There was a long line of interviews, application process, the agonizing wait to learn whether or not you would be the final candidate. And as it turns out, you are. And while it's been a long road to that new position, the truth is you're just at the beginning. There are a couple of things you can do to make sure you're successful in your new role. There are a couple of things you can do to make it a lot more difficult than it has to be. Now I know what you're thinking. I'm going to read all the manuals. I'm going to become very knowledgeable of the job. And I'm going to do what I have to do to earn the respect of my team and establish my authority. While that sounds really good, those are all the wrong things to do. Here's what I know for sure. What got you in your new position is the fact that you're really good at your job. You know your job and you're effective and you've been a high performer. But what will make you successful in your new role, your efficiency and your technical skills is only going to account for about 15% of that. The other 85% of what's going to make you successful as a new leader is going to be in how you do your job, how you communicate with your team, and how you move priorities and projects forward. So I'm going to talk briefly about 3 things that I think if you do in the next 30 days. Now listen, let's face it, it's not easy to come into a new role, whether it's in a managerial role or not. But now you're in a role where your expertise in the area is only going to be a portion of it. But if you focus on these 3 things over the next 30 days, it's going to set you up for success ultimately. And by the end, I'm going to tell you exactly why these 3 things are going to make you successful. The first thing is decisiveness. Be decisive. People will tell you that the worst enemy of a good decision is a bad decision. Absolutely not true. The worst enemy of a good decision is indecision. And it's easily detected when you're wishy-washy, when you're this way and that way, and unable to make a decision. So as a new manager, one of the best things you can do, one of the 3 things we're focusing on today, one of the best things you can do is be decisive. Make decisions quickly. Even if it's not the best decision, making a decision when it comes to your team, when it comes to expectations, making decisions quickly sends a very strong message to your team. The second thing, be consistent. Consistency is critical as a new leader. In my first management role, I'll never forget it, because I was the last individual hired into the department and promoted to management. I felt an extreme need to manage by personality. I'd gotten to know the team while we were all teammates, and in being promoted, now I'm their new manager. And so it became my tendency to manage by personality, meaning I made decisions early on, and I mean very early on, the first month, 30 days, 60 days max. I was making decisions and dealing with my team based on their personalities. Well, you know what that results in? That results in inconsistent decision making. And that results in inconsistent enforcement of regulations and rules. And that results in inconsistent establishment of who I am as an individual. And so after the first month, I realized that I had to be 5 different types of managers for 5 different people. Now it's true that you have to manage your team as individuals, and that individualized treatment is absolutely critical. But not because you're being inconsistent, but because obviously you have a diverse team. But consistency is absolutely imperative. The third thing I'm going to share that's important for a new manager is to be concerned. To be concerned. And that shows up in so many ways. How do I know you're concerned? I know you're concerned because you listen to me. I know you listen to me because you interact in the conversation. I'm a new manager. There are going to be concerns about the new manager. There are going to be concerns about the new manager's style, about the new manager's priorities, about the new manager's tendencies. And so in that first 30 days, if you could spend time listening to your team, understanding and paying attention to their body language, really involved in the communication process with them, you'll learn a great deal about who your team is and how you can most effectively manage them over the long term. And so it's those three things that as a new manager you can do really early in your role to establish yourself as a manager who's consistent, who's decisive, and who cares. And what those three things do for you early on in your new role is they establish that you are confident. And there's no substitute in a new manager for confidence. When your team recognizes that you're confident, then they can better navigate changes that are inevitable in any job. When they see that you're confident, they can accept some of the policy, procedure, some of the things that roll down from your management. They can accept them when they feel confidence in you. And you instill confidence in your new team by demonstrating consistency, by demonstrating clarity, by demonstrating concern. And in doing those things, your team recognizes that they have a leader that will be able to encourage them and keep them focused as they're trying to do their jobs every single day. It's been said that you may not remember everything that you hear someone say to you, but you will remember how you felt when they were saying it to you. And so that's critically important to understand as a new manager, that early in your role, you're going to say some things that are incorrect. You're going to make some mistakes. You're going to do some things that, while if you could turn the clock back, you would take them back. But with any mistake you made, any shortcoming you have, if you can be decisive, if you can be consistent, and if you can show concern, it's going to buy you a great deal of grace from your team, number one. It's going to establish you as a source of information and a source of support. And it's going to do something very important that I hadn't mentioned yet, but it's going to send a message to those who hired you that they made the right decision. Again, congratulations on your new role, on your promotion, and I wish you the very best in your future.